3nm chips from Apple are coming. Yes, it is confirmed that they're going into mass production, as you see in this article right here. The only question is, which product is going to get the 3nm chips first? Now, the whole situation is a little bit confusing, but as I add more and more puzzle pieces together, it's starting to become very clear, and I am getting extremely excited. So let's dig right into this. As you can see, we just got a report from Digitime saying that TSMC is holding a celebration at the Fab 18 factory on December 29th to mark the start of commercial production of chips using 3nm process technology. Yes, they are starting before the new year, and that only means that we're going to be getting some products from Apple. And the reason I know this is because Intel was originally supposed to be using TSMC's 3nm chip dies for their Meteor Lake GPU tile. And that was way back on the 23rd of November, 2021. But look at this, in August, they delayed their order, causing TSMC to slow down 3nm chip expansion. But of course, due to today's report, yes, they are kicking into full gear this week, which is great news. But then even worse, Intel ended up canceling the 3nm chip nodes for their GPU in Meteor Lake and delaying it until the Arrow Lake CPUs. So this delay is going to be even longer than we thought, because that's only going to be launching in 2024. So of course, these 3nm chips that TSMC is building right now are not going to Intel at all. So the main question is, which products or which Apple products are likely to be the ones that are going to come with these 3nm chips? Well, we recently got a report from Mark Gurman, the best Apple leaker out there, saying that the all-new Mac Pro is still in testing, but the M2 Extreme chip is likely canceled, which is of course really bad news. But what this hints at is that the Mac Pro is getting delayed even further, maybe even as late as summer or even later, because I had an interview with Mark Gurman on this channel, and that's exactly what he said. He said we might see it all the way as late as the summer. Now, on top of that, a lot of people are gonna say that the new Apple VR headset is gonna be coming out early next year with 3nm chips, which I agree, they are gonna have 3nm chips, but we did get a report from Ming-Chi Kuo, also a really reliable leaker, early this month saying that the shipments are potentially getting delayed until the second half of 2023, which means a January event revealing the VR headset is likely not going to happen. And he even said this in a tweet, saying that the time frame between the media event in January and then shipping all the way in late 2023 is too long, because people forget about the product and it basically slows down the hype. So it's not going to be the VR headset either. And that only leaves one thing. Yes, the report that we just got hints at these chips actually going towards the M2 Pro and Max chips, which are going into the 14-inch, 16-inch MacBook Pros. And I know there's a lot of confusion about this, because due to recent reports, a lot of people thought it would be 5nm, maybe, just maybe 4nm, but look at this. They're hinting at 3nm M2 Pro and Max chips. And those leaks and rumors actually started way back then. Over half a year ago, in June of 2022, we had reports that TSMC was starting mass production of new 3nm M2 Pro chips later this year, and that was from Jeff Pu. But not only that, we got another one from Taiwan's Commercial Times, once again saying 3nm M2 Pro chip for the MacBook Pro entering production later this year, which those 3nm chips just entered production, or they are this week. So what if we were right all along through all these crazy leaks and rumors and delays and everything going on, recession? What if Apple actually is giving us 3nm M2 Pro and Max chips? Well, that's exactly what we are gonna get into right now, showing off the rest of the evidence. Check this out. Recently, December 18th, Mark Gurman said that new MacBook Pro models are gonna be launching in early 2023, which only points at Apple's annual March event, which they almost always have one in March, and there's almost always Max at that event, and I think that's the exact event that the new MacBook Pro is going to be coming. And then we also had this report of 2 unreleased Macs spotted in Steam's database December 10th, and one of those is a Mac with the M2 Max chip, which was already leaked, which I'm going to show you in a second, and then an undisclosed chip, which I believe, of course, is the M2 Pro. And because we're getting these leaks at this time, it shows that these products are shipping very soon. And now let's get into the benchmarks, because we got some awesome leaked M2 Max benchmarks, and they're actually really good. Check this out. 2027 single core, which means we're finally over 2000. This is gonna be a really good improvement, and 14,888 for the multi-core, which is decent. It's not that great. It's not what I expected, but it's still a decent improvement. But the shocking thing in these benchmarks is that the clock speed of the M2 Max chip was 3.68 gigahertz. And that is a lot, because right now the M2 chip is only around 3.5, 3.49, and this is a jump above. And it's interesting because the entire M1 family was stuck at the same 3.2 gigahertz, but this time around it looks like the M2 is going to be different from the M2 Max, and that actually hints at the technology being different as well. And the thing that interested me the most is that the brand new A16 Bionic chip built on the 4nm chip process from TSMC, which some thought would be coming to the M2 Pro and Max chips, it only runs at 3.46 gigahertz, essentially pretty close to 3.5, but these new benchmarks are showing 3.68, which is a further improvement, hinting at potential 3nm chip technology. Now, the last thing I want to mention and get into is a very interesting report that we recently had about the iPhone 14 Pro and its A16 chip. If you watched my recent video that I made about it, you'll see that the GPU has barely changed. It's essentially unchanged in real world benchmarks and tests, and that's because they were planning for a next generation GPU that's totally redesigned and much faster, but they ended up scrapping it and going back to the old design, which is why we have barely any change at all. So my thought is, what if this brand new GPU design got delayed, but it's still gonna show up in the M2 Pro and M2 Max, and hopefully also on 3nm. So I'm so happy that we just got this report, because it confirms that TSMC is pumping out these chips, and they're pumping it out for a very specific important product. And as Apple's other products are getting delayed, it only makes sense that they're gonna come into these new 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. So if you completely disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below, or if you don't wanna wait for these new MacBook Pros, you might just wanna buy an M2 MacBook Air, then check out the YouTube tagging feature below. Thanks for watching, and click the circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one. See you in the next video.